last lecture we talk about the selection of the construction material. So here it is the criteria for the selection of construction materials on the basis of strength. So on basis of strength, how we can select or what is the criteria for the selection of the construction material. So first, material must be selected for their ability to support the loads imposed by the buildings. So this is particular for the building construction. So whatever material we are going to select, that should be enough to bear the loads which are imposed on the building. An appropriate structural system and the correct selection of the structural materials can reduce excess material use and the waste and increase the building adaptability and the strength, durability, workability. So suppose I'm going to select a prop, then what should be the criteria? The firstly prop should be bear bear a heavy load, it having a good strength, okay, that should be movable and that can be easily removed, okay. So that is the example of the selection of the construction material. In highly durable material may provide the most sustainable solution if it reduces the maintenance and the replacement of requirement, but the material should also appropriate to expect the life of the building, okay. So while selecting we should select the durable material, so the age of the material should be lifelong, okay. Just like a props, I am going to select the props, then it should be lifelong material, I can be easily utilized for the other construction. So in that, if I am using the bamboo or the woods, okay, so that having a less life as compared to the steel props, okay. So that is the durability of the material. Then concrete is most widely used construction material in the world and possesses the many unique uh, qualities that may benefits the owner, developer and designer. So that is also an example. If I am going to use the cement as a construction material, okay, it should be good in strength, having good bonding property. Then it should be having a good qualities like age of the cement, as we know that our cement can be utilized up to the 3 months, okay. So that is a uses, or we can say the criteria for the selection of the material. So due to the versatility, the aesthetic appeal and the co-effectiveness and the availability of the concrete, it changing the face of the world, okay. So as a concrete is a lifelong material, okay, it gives a lifelong strength, okay, durability, workability, strength. So that's why the we can say that it is a versatile material, okay. And then aesthetic, it gives a good appearance also, we can mold it into the different shapes and size. Then cost is effective, so that's why it is said that it is utilized worldwide, okay. Then criteria for the selection of construction material on the basis of durability, as we say that it should be durable, means it should be lifelong usable, okay. Then first point, serviceability refers to the condition under which the building is still considered useful during the utility period. By utilizing the serviceable materials, we are able to provide cost effectiveness. If it is a durable material, then it is affordable one. We can usually add off for any kind of construction. Okay, so if it is durable, then we can say that if I am spending lots of fees, or the we are paying the much more cost for the any material, then it should be a durable one, it having good strength, okay. In that cases we can regret the extra cost, okay. Then solid material contains defects that affects their property and behavior. Some defects have a useful effect, but larger structural defects adversely affect the serviceability. So not only the age of the material is the property, that should having a good property. It should avoid the defects. Okay, if it causes some defects, then the cost of construction increases, then cost of maintenance and repair increases. So that's why it's if it having some defects, then it should not be lifelong, and it should not affect the adversely on the other properties of the material. They can cause a structural failure if not selected according to the load. So before selection we should calculate the load coming over the structure, then it will not be affect. Okay, when materials are selected for the practical purposes, preference is given to the material that are not prone to the content defects and those that have that can tolerate them without failing prematurely. Okay, so while selecting the materials we should carry out the practical works. So before implementation we will get the idea either this material can be utilized or this material can be usable one, or it can be it cannot be affect on the other properties. So that kind of test or that kind of premature or the pre-test should be carried out. Okay, then selection criteria on the basis of construction material like eco-friendly. Okay, so other property or the other criteria that is the eco-friendly, the material we are going to utilize that should be economical and eco-friendly one. It should not affect adverse effect on the environment also, because some of the chemical compounds which has been utilized can affect on the environment also. Some of the construction activity like excavation of the rocks or the excavation of the aggregate or the manufacturing of the cement. So these are the some of the uh, uh, we can say these are the some of the activity which release the pollutants into the air which are harmful to the human being also, to the environment also. So this kind of criteria should be in mind, okay, while selecting the material. So that material should be eco-friendly one. Some of the material give the emissions or the leakages of the chemicals into the air. Okay, so some of the chemical admixture which are having some chemicals which affects on the human body also. Okay, so this kind of activity should avoid the addition of these chemicals, or we having some replacement, we should having some replacement over these chemicals. Then adequate ventilation can be ease out some of the effects of gas emission, but the materials should generally selected to minimize the adverse effect to the occupants. Okay, so these are the some of the criteria as I said uh, for the eco-friendly materials. The next criteria for selection of construction material on the basis of economy and the elegance. Elegance means appearance. Okay, it should give a good appearance. Okay, along with the economy. Okay, so the cost should not be more as compared to the construction cost. Okay, sometimes it happens that the material cost is much more as compared to the cost of construction. So economy and the elegance should be there. Okay, so elegance nothing but the appearance. Okay, so material should having a good appearance. So while selecting a material we can check whether it gives a good appearance or the good elegance. Okay, some of the interior decoration works include the appearance or the elegance. Okay, so during that we can select the material which gives a good appearance or the good elegance. Okay, the source of material must be considered to keep transportation cost and resultant emission to the minimum. Okay, so while selecting the material we should keep in mind that the transportation cost or the emission, okay, should be minimum. It means that after you usage of that material it should not emit any kind of uh, chemicals into the air which causes the uh, air or the water or the any kind of pollutions. The behavior or the more bulky material are the greater the transport cost. Okay, some of the props like props, then formworks. Okay, so these are the material which having the large transportation cost or the heavy transportation cost that should be avoided. Then hence where ever possible, heavy and bulky material in particular should be sourced locally. Okay, so in that case we have to be manage the local materials only. Then life cycle cost include the maintenance, replacement, demolition and disposal. So these are the cycle cost. Okay, so during the maintenance, replacement, demolition and disposal, many materials emitted into the air. Okay, then this having the much more cost. So while selecting the material, we should keep in mind that the maintenance or repair should not be occur during the early stage of the construction. Okay, so because if suppose that your construction is 5 to 10 years old and it requires the repair and maintenance, it means that we had not selected a good quality of the materials. Okay, it should be after 20 years. Okay, minimum 20 years, that is a first stage life cycle. Okay, so if material are selected well, then it does not requires early maintenance or the repair. Okay, hence the design of building using the materials that are readily available and the easily maintained. So that kind of material should be adopted that can be easily available, easily maintained or the repair. Okay, so that is a criteria for the economy and the illegals. Okay, so these are the criteria which are generally considered while selecting the materials. So some of the parts which are we are going to discuss in a next session. Thank you.